example, all right, I'm not going to talk about all these. We're just going to storm through. Armageddon. I'm not sure this card actually makes it in Modern or Legacy, but this is like one of the nostalgia cards that some of us remember. Destroy all lands. Booyah. That's all I can say to Armageddon. Um, Bunch of nonsense. Core Firewalker, I think, sometimes gets some play with that protection from red. It can do some things. You know, feel free to speak up, guys, but we're going to go pretty fast. Rest in Peace is a big card in Modern. Now, Savannah Lions, this card basically taught me about Magic. Oh, I agree, Beard. I don't know anything about the pricing of this. And there are definitely some crappy rares to be gotten. But here's the story. I'm a kid in high school playing Magic at my friend's kitchen table. And we're playing Revised. And we're playing things like Nightmares and Shivan Dragons. You know, we're just playing all the big stuff. We're Johnny'd up. Then a new set comes out. I forget what it was, and I'm starting to play with Jusm Djinns and Juggernauts and Rabid Wombats. And so I got my Juggernaut Jusm Djinn deck with just the fattest creatures I could get my hands on at the time. I was doing this in Madison, Wisconsin, which is actually quite a hotbed for Magic over time. And I get my deck, and I'm like this high school kid that knows basically nothing about Magic except what I've been doing with my friends. And I go to Union South, which is like one of the college unions. You might be familiar with that kind of thing. Just a place for college kids to hang out and do stuff. I don't know, Saturday night, whatever. There's just a bunch of cafeteria tables and a bunch of people sitting around playing Magic. I bring my Jusm Djinn or Rabid Wombat deck. And this guy slams White Weenie on me. Just like turn 1 Savannah Line, turn 2 Savannah Line. Kills me in like 3 turns before I played a single card. And I was like, whoa. Magic is not all just playing your big cards with your friends. Like, it's the first thing that taught me about deck building, really. It was a very brutal lesson in deck building. But these Savannah Lines just ran over my face. So I'll always remember this card. That guy just steamrolled me in like 30 seconds. I sat down. I was like, all right, here we go. We're going to have 20-minute game of Magic. I'm going to get to play my fun cards. Nope. That guy played like 4 cards and I was done. So shout out to Savannah Lines. Sword to Plowshares. So this card is definitely played a lot. Thalia. Yeah. This card is also played a lot. So these cards are definitely for Legacy and Modern. Let's move on to blue. Accumulated Nod seems like a cool card. Blue Elemental Blast gets played a lot. Brainstorm gets played the most. Counterspell gets played a lot. Curiosity, by the way. If you guys are playing with Curious Obsession, this is clearly where Curious Obsession came from. It's almost the same, except you don't have to attack, but it also doesn't give you the +1/+1. Yo, Entropy. Yeah. We're just looking over Magic 25 really fast. Flash is an interesting card. It's pretty much Flash before Flash was an ability on the card. Basically lets you play a card at Flash speed. Pretty sweet. Ghost Ship. I have memories of Ghost Ship. Jason Mind Sculptor. We were talking about this already. People are saying $160, €100. Sure, but are you going to pull it off a $10 pack? I don't know. Merfolk Looter. They don't call it looting for nothing, folks. This is This is where you get the name Loot. So, bam. Pact of Negation. All these pack cards I think are super sweet. And you can do some super cool things with them. Like if you haven't played a Hive Mind deck, those are super fun deck to play with packs. Hive Mind plus pack is like an instant win. It's pretty sweet. I do like this art on Totally Lost. Vesuvian Shapeshifter I remember a lot. Vidillion Click gets a lot of play. It's a rare, so they reprinted it. I guess we'll go backwards. Zulaport Cutthroat. It was cool. People were shouting out Triskaidekaphobia. I think I even pronounced that correctly. That's a weird old card. Street Wraith. There's in Grixis Death Shadow. Chupacabra already getting in there. Relentless Rats is a cool card. A deck can have any number of card named Relentless Rats, so it overrules the rules, which is pretty sweet. Plague Wind for 9. Murder. Shout out to Duels. Dusk Legion Zealot, card of the day. Doomsday's a sweet card, by the way. 3 black, search your library and graveyard for 5 cards, exile everything else. Put the chosen cards on top of your library in any order. I think that's a weird sentence because you don't really have a library anymore. You just have the 5 cards, if I'm reading this correctly. You lose half your life, rounded up. That thing is badass, man. I like the 5 globes. I'm glad Sunderays likes it. Diabolic Edict. Much like Merfolk Looter, people talk about edict effects. This is why. Strictly worse than Trial of Ambition. No, this is instant speed, so never mind. Yeah. No, I agree, Entropy. It's a crazy card. But your combo better be black, or you're just playing a Black Lotus or something. Dark Ritual. This card sees tons of play. $10 a pack is brutal, though. But if you need these cards, maybe you need them. Blood Moon gets a lot of play. It's probably like a $26 card. Ball Lightning, I remember. Ball Lightning, I think, is kind of garbage. Like, can you imagine opening this as your rare instead of Blood Moon or Jace? Ball Lightning? Ugh. Feels terrible. I remember Browbeat, too, because I liked the art. The way this bully's just bullying him. It's also a super sweet, like, multiplayer card. I think that's where I remember Browbeat from. Eidolon of the Great Level. Boo! Boo this card, people. This card kills my Storm deck. Jester! Yeah! Jester, what up? Yeah, Ball Lightning was Beard, but would you want to pack it now in M25 for a $10 pack? I doubt it. Enthralling Victor. Speaking of monks, well-shaped monks, this guy's rocking like an 8-pack. And his pants are riding low. Oh, no. Don't look too much at it unless you like that, because your eye will be drawn downward, following those abs. And it gets very close to trouble. Goblin War Drums. Imperial Recruiter. This card gets some play. Lightning Bolt. I wonder, is Lightning Bolt more popular than Brainstorm? It's a good question. I guess Lightning Bolt is also available in Modern and Brainstorm isn't. So, therefore, Lightning Bolt's probably more common in general. Magus of the Wheels Suite. Red Elemental Blast to match Blue Elemental Blast. Pyroclasm, the precursor to Fiery Cannonade. It's sorcery speed, but it costs 1 less and does damage to each creature, which could be good or worse for you. Simian Spirit Guide. This card gets a lot of play. when you want to do dumb turn one combos, you pretty much need this card. And by dumb, I mean awesome.
Oh boy!
Ancient Stirrings. Boo this card too, people. I think red, like the idea of the red counter spell is pretty sweet. Like I understand blue should have all the counter spells, but back in the day they did try to like make, you know, two sides of a coin kind of cards, and I think it's cool. Ancient Stirrings though, boo this card. This card is a Tron enabler in the worst way. Boo this card. Arbor Elf is cool. Courser of Krufix seems a lot of play. I know someone was super bummed that Colossal Dreadmaw made it in, but you got to give a shout out to fatties. Fatties are sweet. Elvish Piper. It's a weird card, but for some reason I have a memory of that. Giant Growth, Open Fist, Kavu Predator. I remember this card a lot. Trying to make decks around Kavu Predator. It's no Tarmogoyf, but it's something. The protection from colors. Glorious End. Is that when you just end the turn? Yeah, right on. Living Wish, a wish spell. Sometimes people refer to Mastermind's Acquisition as a wish spell. This card is kind of why. You may choose a creature or land you own from outside the game, reveal it, put it in your hand. Pretty much the same thing, but only a creature or land and only costing 2. Nettle Sentinel. This card was big in that elf deck that went to the finals of the SCG Legacy Tournament. Looked like he was playing 4 of these. You can do cool things like you have elf cards that let you tap your card for mana. So you can tap, for example, Nettle Sentinel for a green mana and then use the 1 green mana to cast Elvish Visionary, untaps, and you keep doing stuff like that and you end up getting a whole lot of mana real fast. Protean Hulk, another Pact, Regrowth. This card's a classic. I'm not defending Dreadmaw. I agree. They could have done a lot of other fatties, a lot of other big worms. I'm done defending it. There's Tree of Redemption. People were pissed about this card being in there. It's a weird card. Utopia Sprawl sees a lot of play. Vessel of Nascency is kind of cool. Blightning is a pretty badass card. Boros Charm sees a ton of play. Brian Stout Arm. I remember this guy from back in the day. Conflux is a cool card. Here's an early Gisela. Boy, she costs a lot. She costs 7. Whew, that's a lot. Nicobolus, Mystic Snake. Can anyone explain to me the flavor text on Niv Mizzet the Firemind? They'll said those expensive pauper card. I believe that. Can anyone explain what that's supposed to be? Or is it just supposed to be like, we don't understand this dragon's mind, he's too far above us? Or did someone figure this card out or something? Because I know a lot of math, but I don't know what the Z arrow means. Also, 90 degrees is not really a valid superscript. The Z-axis should turn 90 degrees. All right, Jester's got the knowledge here. Oh, then it looks like Niv Mizzet? Does look like Niv if you turn it 90 degrees, but I don't know where the Mizzet comes from. Kind of there. Then it's backwards. All right. Thank you, Jester. I knew there was more to it than just a bunch of nonsense. So if you tap it the other way, all right. That's sweet. Once again, I like learning stuff, people. I love chat when they help me learn stuff. Shadow Mage Infiltrator. I played this card a ton. Vindicate. It's like Anguished Unmaking, but sorcery speed and doesn't cost you life. Yeah. Well, there's no I in between there. There's no I in between the W and then the two N's, or the M and the two Z's. Anyway, I get it. I get it now. I don't love it, but it's cool. Sure. Chalice the Void. This card just sees a ton of play. Coalition Relic. This card is just awesome. Everyone loves Coalition Relic. Ensnaring Bridge. I don't mind... I don't mind Lantern Control, but you guys are welcome to boo this card. Nile Spellbomb sees a ton of play. Shout out Perilous Myrrh. You had a good run in duels. Sadly, you didn't make it all the way through. Sundering Titans, badass. Rashad Import sees a lot of play. Quicksand does not see much play. Yo, Ninjo!
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people heart Perilous Myrrh. But the reason they cut it from duels was because people complained too much, or they thought the power level was too high. That was back when people were sacking everything to Evolutionary Leap. Pendelhaven's been around. Mishra's Factory is definitely a card. I think even in Vintage. Like, right? Isn't that one of the best Vintage decks? The Factory deck? The Center of the Sea card is strange. I'm not sure I like it. Some of these cool dual lands, but not all of them. And that's it. So we are done with Magic 25 here.